Hiya! Hiya! VideoGaming Father is here. This time I'm going to take a closer look at the puzzle platformer with letters and words in the main row called Typoman. Is there any touching story explaining why you need to save the serial word with the help of letters? Is the main hero writer or editor or someone completely different? Is it just a common puzzle platformer with jumping and solving generic puzzles, or is the game based on some innovative concept? Will it tease your brain cells or other fingers? Does the game difficulty make it suitable even for family playing? Isn't the game ruined by bad level design or inaccurate controls? Will your eyes and ears be pleased by the game audiovisuals? Does the game still serve some new ideas, or will it become repetitive quite soon? Let's find the answers together during the next minute spent by Typoman Video Review. The good puzzle platformers usually have some thrilling or touching story explaining why your character finds himself in the mysterious world full of puzzles and what his motivation to solve them is. In Typoman, on the other hand, the story is rather mysterious, so it's not explicitly explained where you are and what your motivation is. But this does not mean that the story is not there. In the beginning, you just know that you control a character made of letters and you need to make your way through a dark and hostile world. Soon you will find out that you can craft words which will have an effect on the environment. There are neither dialogues nor any text explaining more, except the quotation marks providing some small clues that are usually located in not easily reached places. So, everyone will probably find his own way to understand and explain what is happening, but it perfectly matches the game atmosphere and makes you think about it at least a bit. I personally like this kind of story presentation. Now let's have a look at the gameplay. The game starts with a truck that dumps a bunch of letters to the heap of others. The letter O rolls aside and gets under your control. There is not much you can do, so you are just rolling and also falling when needed until you arrive at another letter E. This sticks to the letter O from the bottom side and suddenly you are not rolling but jumping. It doesn't take long and you arrive at the letter H, which sticks to the E, and now you can run because H serves as a legs. The main character made of letters, so that's what the game is called, Typoman, is now almost complete. Just the hands yet, and wait a minute, you find just one. Does it have something to do with the story? Yeah, most likely. That comes to short tutorial part showing you the main game mechanics. What are they then? In Typoman, you spend quite a lot of time working with letters and words. You will find letters everywhere in the game environment. The letters are in the shape of the letter L, the letters are created by the columns of letter H, and so on. Some letters are just decoration, while some you need to use interactively to get further. In the beginning it's quite easy. For example, there is a platform with the letter N next to it, but it's not moving. You can see that there is a letter O not so far from the platform. What if you try to grab it and put it in front of the letter N to create a word on? So you do it intuitively and voila! It works! Platform starts to move up. So your hero just needs to quickly jump on it, and one of the first, very easy one indeed, puzzles is resolved. Now you know that if you want to activate something, you should search the environment for the possibility of creating this simple but magical word. Is it as easy all time long? Of course not. Typoman is for sure not a game for preschool kids who just started to learn reading. Soon your hero will learn how to scramble words, and then you will need to put the letter into correct order and also to remove some useless ones to create more complex words like down, turn, or open to release the way further. The puzzles are usually not time limited, so you can take as much time as you want to resolve them. However, there are also action sequences where you need not just to think your way through, but also apply this solution quickly to survive. For example, you need to run through several gas fields. However, your hero can last in the poisonous gas only for several seconds, and there is not any clear spot between the gas fields where you could take a breath. What is the solution then? Oh, there is a letter P nearby. So you grab it and try to throw it behind the wall, gas, to create gas. Your hero starts to breathe heavily to get prepared for the next round. And you need to do it twice in a row, switch the lever, then to activate the platform and quickly jump onto it to get out of gas range. Not an easy section, and I must admit that I was suffering a bit before I successfully made it. So, is Typoman more about thinking or rather platforming? The answer is quite simple here. You will spend most of the time solving puzzles with only basic platforming sections involving basic jumping and running between them. Typoman is quite benevolent when it comes to jumping, so you do not need to focus on precise jumping. There are also action sequences where you need to run from enemies quickly. Some bumps and limbo here, but usually you have enough time to perform all necessary actions, so there is not as much adrenaline in them as in some other similar platforms. In general, Typoman is more for people that want to think than more for adrenaline players that are looking for the game that chew them up first and spit them out sweaty and screaming. And here we get to the game difficulty. Typoman is definitely a challenging game as some puzzles are not so trivial and some action sequences require fast fingers. You will be dying quite a lot before you do some of them flawlessly. But thanks to the system of respawning in the start of the current screen or scene, you will not get frustrated from repeating the same long parts again and again and again. The puzzles are designed to tease you a bit, but definitely not to frustrate you from being stuck at the same place for hours while having no clue how to get further. Okay, this usually does not happen nowadays as we have an internet full of walkthrough videos, but you know what I mean. As for the controls, I have played Typoman on the Xbox controller and I can say that I was satisfied most of the time. The platforming itself is smooth, you just control your hero's movement, jumping, grabbing and throwing the letters. Only the work with letters and their rearranging to create a word is quite complicated on the controller, but one gets used to it. So there is not any major problem. How about the level design and the variability of the environment? And I am not going to have many complaints even here. The level design is good and makes you to change the activities and also to combine them together. So, as in almost every platformer, you will be jumping, running from surreal-looking enemies, activating switches, avoiding traps, climbing ladders and so on. You will be also thinking a lot, looking for letters and combining them to create the right word that affects the environment in a way you need to get further. These mechanics are quite original. I only recall the great Baba Is You based on the similar system, and the game uses it very well and quite often. And the game is still adding something that you have not seen before, so I do not think that you need to be afraid of getting bored soon. Won't you get disappointed by the game audiovisuals? As most of the games that took the inspiration from Limbo, and I think that the authors of Typoman can hardly deny it, the game is presented in few dark colors, where the main hero, enemies, letters and many objects are black, and the rest of the environment is in the shades of grey or brown. The graphics are smooth in high resolution and the dark and hostile world rarely looks authentic, which makes the game atmospheric. Not only game graphics, but also music and sound support the oppressive game atmosphere. Piano tones dynamically changing in dependency on the scene and disturbingly realistic sounds of falling guillotine or imploding body of your hero won't let you stone cold for sure. Another good job has been done here. So, is Typoman one of the games worth their time and money? I have found many positives in the game. Story presentation, original ideas, disturbing game atmosphere, inventive level design and puzzles, gradual learning curve, balanced difficulty, easy and responsive controls, and atmospheric audiovisuals. There are not many negatives, just clunky rearranging of letters when creating words, just one and sometimes quite complicated solution of each puzzle, and maybe the absence of some co-op multiplayer that would make the game more suitable for family playing. When it comes to this, I can recommend the game for older kids only. At first, they need to have quite good knowledge of English, and also they will less likely have the nightmare caused by the oppressive game atmosphere. Typoman costs €9 on Steam, which makes the game not so cheap, but considering all the game pros, I would say that it's worth the price. If you are looking for a game that improves your typing skills, you are on the wrong address, indeed. But if you want to play a good puzzle platformer based on playing with letters, this one would be one of the best in its genre. I personally have enjoyed playing Typoman and have not found many downsides there. I'm therefore giving it thumbs up and VideoGaming Father's index 8+ out of 10. Recommended. Thank you for watching my Typoman video review. If you like it, please give it a thumb up and subscribe to my VideoGaming Father's channel. Bye bye!